Hola, and welcome everybody to Mission Nutrition with Priscilla. God, it's been a week already, and I don't know, we've been having internet problems, so I'm not sure that y'all can hear us, but when you hear us on YouTube, the saxophone player is none other than my dear friend Cal Bennett. Beautiful, beautiful music by Cal Bennett, and if you want to see what Cal does, go to Cal B. Sax, not sex, sax, calbysax @gmail.com. So again, welcome everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Mission Nutrition with PRISCILLA VALLDEJULI, your host. And I'd like to just recap what we did last week. Last week, nutrition is about nourishing. How do we nourish ourselves? We nourish ourselves. It's got to start first with our higher power. Whoever, whatever that is for you, for me, well, you know what? That's a private thing, I think. So however you nourish yourself with your higher power, and then what are you placing in and on your skin? Who knew that in 90 seconds, whatever you place on this beautiful third organ, it goes into your bloodstream in 90 seconds. So there's all reasons that we're all of a sudden becoming diseased. It's the chemicals, the toxins that we're putting in and on our body. How do we nourish our souls? What are we doing to relax? Are we meditating? Are we getting massages? How do we nourish our relationships? Are we harboring dis-ease of another person, of the person that we're living with, our children? Everything in our life is about nourishing. And if we don't nourish the soul, we will become, or a dis-ease will develop. So I always say it's, take into consideration everything. There's Sheila Frazier, my dear hermana, a very famous actress. We have a women's group, and we got together, in fact, at this very restaurant, the Brownstone Bistro. And there were only, I think, 8 of us, but it was amazing We were here at 7, and we closed the restaurant at midnight. And some of us boo-hooed, and some of us, hugged and held each other. And I left that evening with saying, wow, we need that therapy. We need that place that you could go to and bring your hair down. Guys too. If you keep things inside and you keep on swallowing them, they go down here. They will log into some part of your body function. And that's where those little seeds of dis-ease come out of. So, give love, talk love, receive love, be in love, go in yourself. But my main point is about nutrition, because 11 years ago, I had no idea that I was ill. And I met this amazing woman. Her name is Sharon Winters. She's a naturopath. She's my naturopath. She's the author of a fabulous book, but it's actually a reference guide, and it's called The Pure Cure, a complete guide to freeing yourselves from dangerous toxins. Because we don't know about these little things, starting with our toothpaste. So this woman comes through the store. I was spraying perfume on everybody, and she asked me not to spray perfume on her because she doesn't wear that. It's full of toxins, a lot of them. She leaves the store, comes back to the store, finds me, grabs my hand, and says to me, if you don't get your liver checked out, you're going to be checking into a hospital. You're a sick girl and you don't know it. And I, in good conscience, cannot get my hair done knowing that I know how sick you are. I thought she was crazy. Thank God that day I had a pocket in my dress. I held on to her business card. If not, I would have thrown it in the trash. And, you just place your stuff around your office and your computer. And I got on her website, and lo and behold, the woman's a walking encyclopedia on the body. And she had the challenge of all these diseases when she was 25 years old. And that challenge led her to a path of finding the right foods, concentrated whole foods mixed with plant-based herbs that regenerate you. And so I met her, I called her, I went to her home, she put me on this nutrition, and a month later I was told that I had ovarian cancer. And my doctor wanted to operate from one day to the next. She gave me 4 days because whatever was inside my body was growing like crazy. And I had called Sharon and I said, what do I do? And she said, why don't you bombard your body with the nutrition that you're already on? Within a week, I didn't even know I had 4 fibroids. 4 fibroids and 2 cysts on my left ovary vanished as if I never had them. That's kind of hard to wrap your arms around. How could I take a nutrition and have 2 cysts that, in fact, one of the cysts had grown 19 times its size, split and made 2 cysts, and the 4 fibroids, and all of a sudden it's gone. And that led me on my path of understanding, learning, educating myself. And now what I'm here to do is to share it. Because if I can share this and one woman today gets on that nutrition and beats whatever challenge, I don't even like to say the word, but if you can beat, and I can keep one woman having both her breasts on her body as God intended, and all her other bodily functions there, you know what? I've done my job. So I'm here to share and to motivate and to educate whomever is listening. So we're going to have a great show. My disclaimer is I'm not a doctor. I'm not a naturopath. I walked and was challenged with having ovarian cancer 11 years ago, and I want to tell you that nutrition does heal. I'm not saying anything else. It doesn't cure. I'm just I'm sharing my story with you. And if it's my story and I can get rid of my dis-ease, I know that I can help you in getting rid of yours. So I'm going to take a little break, listen to that sexy Cal Bennett sax. Not sex, sax. And we'll be right back with some great, great, great in-house guests that I have to share with you. Be right back. Gracias. Welcome back. Bienvenidos. I'm going to try it in Spanish. Bienvenidos a Misión Nutrición con Priscilla VALLDEJULI. Hola. Okay, enough of the Spanish. By the way, I'm from Puerto Rico, and I love sharing that with everybody. So today on Mission Nutrition, we're talking always about nutrition and cleansing and nourishing and balancing and cleansing. And today I have a special guest, and she happens to be a dear friend of mine, LaDonna Bennett. And LaDonna Bennett is she's the owner of a
colon
hydrotherapy clinic called Universal Flow. I love that name, Universal Flow. And for the past 20 years, she has been doing this and also has very well studied in health, nutrition, and she's working on a cookbook. And I said to LaDonna, how strange, you take what's in our body and get it out, but she's bringing something that's coming in. But you know what? Our bodies and life is about withdrawals and deposits, or deposits and withdrawals. So part of cleansing our body, which is a fascinating way, I've only had it done once, I have to be honest with you, and it was a very, very wonderful experience. In fact, I don't know anyone that I know that has colonics that's had a bad experience. And I'm going to turn over the mic to LaDonna because this is very important. It's a way of getting rid of the toxins that are stuck inside of us. And women, we're always searching for something because we're caregivers, because we're nurturers, because we're mothers. We're always looking for how can we help ourselves, our children, our spouses. But men, y'all, wake up. Y'all got to do this too. You know, y'all, I'm sorry, that's Louisiana coming out. I just moved back from Lafayette. You men, you gorgeous, powerful, strong men, the caretakers of this world in a different sense, you need to also know what's nourishing your souls. You've got to change, you've got to know what to put on your skin. I remember my brothers were washing their hair with shampoo. Come on now. Do you know all the toxins in shampoos? And your deodorant, your body lotion. And so with colonics, I hope there's a lot of men listening out there today, learn about how colon hydrotherapy can help you. So LaDonna, thank you so much for being in. Look at this gorgeous woman. I'm not even going to ask your age because I'll embarrass you. But and she's also a wonderful, fabulous singer. She's a part of the choir of the spiritual organization that we go to, Agape. So LaDonna, thank you so much for joining me and joining us and educating us. Tell me a little bit about yourself, how we said you've been doing this for 20 years. How does a gorgeous model-like creature get involved in something like this? And what is colon hydrotherapy?
Well, let's start with how I got into it. Colon therapy, I've been a colon therapist over 20-some-odd years, and I always wondered, how did people keep their skin clear? Yeah, I would look at the magazines, models, and everything, and how did they keep their body weight, intact? And long story short, I actually was in the fashion industry.
Were you a model?
I was a model at one time, fashion industry, and my thing was that I was going to go to Paris and work with all the top designers, and I had a thing with my clothes that they were healing, that when people would wear them, that they would heal, not knowing what direction spirit was moving me in. And so a sister of mine was working for a doctor that was he was a medical doctor, pioneering into holistic health. And it was a lady coming into her office that kept befriended her and had, wanted her to come to her colonic place that she was just opening. And she wasn't interested because she was happy there. So my sister decided to nominate me. And I'm like, no, that's not the direction I'm going in. I will not do that. I worked in the hospital when I first got out of high school, hated it. And so she ended up bothering me until I said, okay, look, I'm just going to meet the lady and get her off my back. So I went and I met the lady, and we really didn't click that well. Mm-hmm. My skin was horrible. I used to have bumps all over my face. I used to call myself a peppermint peanut patty.
That bad?
It was really bad.
Wow.
And so the lady basically I would not be a great representative for colon hydrotherapy. And so I was like, okay, no problem. I'm leaving this lady. So I left and I told my sister, if you like her, you work for her. And that's it. So she kept bothering my sister about getting in touch with me. And so I said, this lady's crazy. I'm not going to work with her. And so I said, no problem. I'll get her off my back. So what happened was, I told her, I said, look, thank you very much for calling me and giving me the offer. I said, I think it's time for us to work together yet, maybe sometime in the future. And thank you for being honest. And she accepted the offer due to I had raised the price really high for her to run. she didn't run. She hung in there, hung up. A couple weeks later, my sister calls me again. She says, LaDonna, you're not going to have a job in a couple of weeks. You're going to need a job. Maybe she'll give you what you want. So I ended up calling her. Me and her talked. She gave me what I wanted. I went in as office manager, and I hadn't done that kind of work in a long time, but, I learned how to do it again, and I saw what they were doing with colon hydrotherapy, and a lot of entertainers were coming in at that time. That time was mostly entertainer. It hadn't gone mainstream totally yet.
And this is how long ago?
That was in, Calvin in 91. It was about 89.
That long ago,
Yeah,
people?
about 89.
I didn't know that people were even doing these
Oh, my
kind of
God,
things
yeah.
back then.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, so anyway, I went in as an office manager. So I was on Western medicine. Major Western medicine. The doctors, I had endometriosis, I had eczema. The doctors before I had the endometriosis was very painful.
Very.
So what they would do is tell me to take codeine and Valiums.
Oh,
like
my
a few
God.
days before my menstrual even started.
Oh, my God.
So by the time it started, I was in so much pain that the medication was candy. And so I couldn't deal with the pain and the discomfort. So she started working with me with colonics. And I started noticing a difference in my health from doing the colonics. I started kind of easing off of Western medicine and went into holistic medicine. But of course, holistic medicine wasn't giving me the quick feeling of, the pain, relief of the pain. I had to work at it. So I want to tell people to not be discouraged when they start going into holistic medicine. Be patient, give it time, and ease off of Western medicine into that. And with me, my skin started to clear up. I started to understand food intake, what was upsetting me or disturbing my skin and disturbing my body. And I started changing my way of eating and letting go of the sugars and the fried foods and the white flour and the cheese, dairy products, meats, things that didn't allow the bowel to move through easily. So if something sits there long enough, if you're not going to the bathroom every single day after each meal, then what's happening? The material is just building up, stacking up, and what's happening, maybe you're not drinking enough water, so now it's becoming very dehydrated in there, so it makes it even more stuck in there. So if something's stagnant, what does it create? It creates bacteria. And what does that bacteria breed? Parasites.
Ooh.
Then people wonder, why am I craving sugar? Why am I craving carbohydrates? Got to get the sugar from somewhere. Well, because the parasites inside of them are making them crave it. So not only are the parasites doing that, but also now it's depleting the person of all the minerals and stuff because now the parasites are being fed.
But I thought that parasites were only like when you went to a different country or a third world country or you ate their fruits and vegetables. So you're saying that the stagnation that's already in our intestines can create its own parasites?
Oh, absolutely.
I had no idea.
It's bacteria. It's just
I
sitting
had
there.
no idea.
And you used to could get parasites when you would go travel for another country.
Right.
But now you have people from all over the world here. So you can touch something and pick up parasites. You can walk barefoot and pick up parasites. You can touch your doggy and get parasites. So, you don't want to have stagnant material hanging out in your colon. So, long story short,
Wow, I'm shocked.
this is how I got involved in it. So I started kind of, one day the lady got really sick. And she came to the my desk, and she leaned on the desk, and her skin color was like a bluish gray color.
Wow.
And she said, "I'm not going to make it through the day. I'm so sick." And I'm looking at her because I'm doing the office.
What do you want me to do? I'm just doing paperwork here.
So she said, gave it an hour break, and she said, "I'm going to close the office for an hour. If I showed you what to do, would you help me?" And I said, "Well, I'm on your time." So then we closed the office. She guided me through giving her a colonic.
Oh, my God.
And
so you were giving her a colonic.
I gave her a colonic.
So she could feel better.
Right, because she was sick. She wasn't going to make it through the day. She was booked that day. So God had me witness the material come out. As it was coming out, her skin color was coming back. And I'm like, oh my God. And so intuitively, Spirit was working through me, guiding me, because I do a lot of massaging during the treatment and stuff. So guided me through giving her a colonic. And when she got up, she was a total different person.
Just from that one session?
From that one session. And she got up, and when she went to the restroom and came out, she was in such gratitude. And she said, if you're interested, she says, I can always use another colon hydrotherapist. She says, I will train you and teach you everything that I know, but you have to do it on your own time. And I said, well, I think about it. So it did take me long because I kind of felt like it was something new to learn, and why not? I had an opportunity. So she started training me, and then I started kind of sneaking and giving myself clients so I can understand what to feel, how it feels, and what the person would feel. And then I said, this lady's going to catch me giving myself.
So you would give yourself colonics?
I would give myself practice on myself.
Wow.
And then I asked her if it was okay for me to do that, and she gave me permission to do it. So that's how I ended up doing the colonics. And
you never thought to veer off of that, to go back into fashion, to...
Well, she was paying more money to me at the time, just because of something I didn't want to do was an opportunity available before me. If you could give me what I asked for, that's where I hung out at.
Right.
I had a different lifestyle.
Right.
So, and plus I learned something. So she taught me a trade that I was able to go out on my own and do, which I am in gratitude for her for that.
Is she still practicing?
I don't know if she's still practicing or not, but I'm just grateful for her being the angel in my life.
Wow.
And not only that, just shifting my whole health situation, because at that time I had in her office there was acupuncture and chiropractic available. And so I started learning how to eat and just learning to take care of my body in a different way that I didn't know.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, so colonics.
So colonics. When should someone? How do I know I need a colonic? I didn't hear about this till about. Let me see. I've been gone 2 years. I think I heard the first colonic was through Sharon Winters, and she turned me on to someone who happens to be Puerto Rican, Dini Leon in Tarzana, and I said. Wait a minute, someone's going to put a tube up my rear end and stuff is going to come out of it. Yeah. I couldn't, and I'm sorry for being so graphic, but I think we need to understand how the procedure works so that people are not so intimidating.
Yes.
And so I had it done, and I didn't go there to lose weight. I was just curious.
Right.
Because I can't speak of something if I haven't had it done. And I felt so much lighter.
Yes, you did.
I didn't know, but now that it makes sense, if you've got all this poo-poo inside of you it's stuck somewhere, it weighs down.
Oh.
And is it in our upper, lower, or both intestines?
Large intestine is where most of the congestion is started. And then in the smaller intestine, sometimes people hold a lot of bile in that area, so they may not feel so good just due to what's kind of hanging around in that area. So, of course, the small intestine, you dump through the ileocecal valve into the large intestine where it forms the stool, and you're able to release it from that way, hopefully.
Wow.
If not, you should do colonics.
How do I know I should visit you?
Well, why don't I do this first? Why don't we tell you what colonics, what it does
Okay.
for you first. Colonics is getting out material out of your system that has been accumulated for a long period of time. We do that on a unit that has all disposable attachments to it. There's a speculum that goes into the rectum, probably maybe 2.5 to 3
Speculum.
inches.
What is a speculum, darling? I need to know that y'all are going to be really at ease with this, and you're going to visit LaDonna, because it will be a therapeutic. Your body will love it. Your skin will love it. Your intestines will love it, and your colon will really like it. And a lot of African Americans and Latinos are dying of colon cancer, and they wonder, how did I get this? This is a beautiful way to cleanse our colons.
Yes. So the speculum is the part of the tubing that goes into the rectum, about 2.5 to 3 inches.
That's nothing. That's about,
That's about it.
That's it.
Very simple. Very simple.
y'all seen the toilet. Look back in the toilet and see how big some of that stuff is. So if the speculum is only this big, and how big around is
About
it?
2.5 inches in diameter.
Guys, there's nothing to it.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. So with that, you have 2 prongs there. One is where filtered water only circulates throughout the large intestine. And then the other one's where you actually evacuate through, so you can actually see what you're digesting, if you're digesting your food properly, if you have yeast or mucus or parasites or whatever, you can actually see it come through the tube. And the session will last about 40 to 45 minutes. And I'm with you the full time. I do abdominal massage, and I work the meridian points on the body to assist you in stimulating the peristaltic muscles so you're able to release better. So why would you do colonics?
So wait a minute. Okay. So I come to visit you.
Yes.
Do I take off my obviously I have to take my pants and my underwear panties down.
Well, the procedure in the beginning, what you want to do the day before, let's start the day before, your preparation would be to eat light. And light would be like vegetable soups and broths and smoothies and vegetable juicing and drinking lots of water so your body's hydrated enough, right? Then the day of your session, you don't eat or drink 2 hours prior to coming in, and then you're ready for the session. Now, when you come in, you fill out your paperwork, and then I'll show you the room.
And I lay
get
down.
You comfortable. You're going to go to the restroom and empty your bladder, and then you come back in, take everything off for me, and then you put on the robe with the opening in the back, and you're covered throughout the whole session. So, I see nothing really. And actually the client has to insert themselves, but I'm with them the full time.
Oh, we
That's the
have to
law.
insert ourselves?
That's the law now, yeah.
I had no idea. Boy, have things changed in 5 years.
Yeah, we used to insert, but now we're not allowed to do that because they're saying we're practicing.
My
medicine
mind
without
went to a
license.
comic thought, but I'm not going to share it with y'all. Sorry, it's a kooky Puerto Rican in me. Okay, and then do you teach me how to insert?
I guide you. I'll guide you. So there's no problem.
So even if I wanted you to insert it's called the speculum. Even if I wanted you to do it, by law you can't.
I cannot do it.
I had no idea.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so I've inserted this. I've got my robe. I'm lying down on a bed. Am I lying on my side?
At the beginning, every colon therapist has their own style, but that's how I started, is on the side. Because it's easier to release gas, so it makes the session a lot easier for the person when you get on your back for the rest of the session. And I do different additives and stuff like that. I work with coffee. Coffee is very, very good for the liver gallbladder. It opens up the bowel ducts. You're able to release more, so it's a stimulator. I also work with wheatgrass or chlorophyll. I do implants at the very end of the session. With acidophilus and aloe vera and minerals, and you actually absorb it back into your body.
I'm Ryan, our fabulous engineer, and I had no idea he's also a singer. Great vocals. Do we have a call?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Great.
Do you mind? Can we take this call and see what's? I don't know if it's for
Am I gonna be on
LaDonna.
here?
Well, I don't know if it's for LaDonna or moi. And thank you for calling in. We're,
If you need help,
He hung up.
Oh, it was he. It was he.
His call dropped. Yeah, it was a guy.
Okay.
Oh,
that's okay. Maybe he'll
call back.
We're having not just us, but there's we're in retrograde, so there's a lot of things going on there with internet. I mean, I've been to 4 different internet cafes, and there was no Wi-Fi. So we're also, I think, experiencing something here. So LaDonna, so I go and I put on a little robe or whatever, and then I'm lying on the side, and I put the speculum inside, and then so if I'm lying on the side, how do I see what's coming out?
Well, the side, don't worry about that. It's just going to be gas at the very beginning of your session. We haven't even really gotten up in there with the water to soften up the stuff that's there. So the water has to get up in there in order to start breaking it down and get it moving. And I do the massage, and I work with an oscillator, which helps to, it's a massager that has magnets and tachyon and crystals in it, and it helps to break stuff up in the colon. So I use that as well. And so
I have all these thoughts and questions. So it probably is very important how we chew our food.
Absolutely. You'll see. I love people to look at what comes out. Some people try not to look. They don't want to see their stuff. But I think it's very important to look at your stuff in every area of your life.
Wow. Ryan, is our caller back on? Oh,
Okay.
Great. Excuse me again, LaDonna. Good afternoon, and welcome to Mission Nutrition with Priscilla.
Well, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm good. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Willie Panama.
Oh, my God. Willie Panama's in the house. You just got into California, I think, last night?
Yeah, last night, around 6 o'clock, and then after I had a gruesome rehearsal.
Yes, I tried desperately. Anyway, the listening audience, I want to welcome Willie Panama to California. Willie has been on an amazing tour. He's from Panama, a fabulous producer, songwriter, vocalist. I don't know. What, babe?
An actor.
And actor, excuse-moi. And Willie's in town because this Saturday, Willie, you tell him about it. And Willie and I started talking about nutrition, and he is on the, I'm on the board of ISBL, International Society of Black Latinos, as is Willie. And Willie and I were talking about how we need to help our brothers and sisters in the African American and Hispanic society, communities learn about nutrition and how to take care of ourselves, because Willie travels and is out all these crazy hours, but he takes care of himself, and now he's going to take better care of himself because I'm going to introduce him to my nutrition. But Willie, tell us what you're doing here and what website to go to, and how do we enjoy your salsa?
Well, this weekend is a weekend that you don't want to miss because of the fact that the Panamanian community is inviting all other nationalities to come celebrate the celebration of the Panama independence. Actually, it's on the November 3rd, but we are doing it a little bit early because of the fact that other members of the board have other things doing in Panama personally on that date in Panama, so they wanted to still do something to honor that celebration, 110 years of independence.
Wow.
I'm going to be performing with my band. I started my tour on the 22nd of September, and my first stop was Albuquerque, New Mexico. Then after that, I did Detroit. Then I went to Tennessee. Then I went to New Hampshire, and now I'm here in Los Angeles. And then after that, I will be proceeding to go to Washington, D.C.
Where will you be performing? I think it's this Saturday. Is it at the Hollywood Park?
The Hollywood Bowl Casino in Inglewood.
Okay, Hollywood Bowl Casino. And then the website, is it, what is your website?
Well, you could go to www.williepanama.com, WILLIE, williepanama.com. And the information of the event is not on my website. It's on my Facebook. So if anybody goes to my Facebook, they'll be able to find out that information. But anyhow, it's very accessible. It's going to be real good. We estimate to have a crowd of maybe about 1,000 people.
Wow, and all that fabulous salsa music.
Yes, we're gonna have a typical Panamanian food, which I haven't really indulged in about 12, 13 years. I keep a lean and mean figure.
I saw that on the Facebook, and that's why I was so interested in talking to you about nutrition, because you're obviously doing something right, and that's a great thing, because so many men don't realize that they need to take care of their body temple. And I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your music. You have to give me your CD, so the next time I do my show, it will be Willie Panama salsa music that we listen to.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you come Saturday, you're going to really dance, because I'm the only Latin artist that does salsa with reggae mixed all together with a perfect time.
Ooh, baby.
And that is the reason why I am blessed with having a nice success in Europe, Canada, Mexico, South America,
Nice.
and Central America, because they appreciate culture.
Right.
And that is the key of being into some type of longevity in the music industry. If you just depend on being dependent on a hit and a commercial hit, the commercial hit will go and come. Like the example, Macarena, La Bamba, the Twist, whatever. These things, they were good in a time, and then nobody cares about them. But
Right.
when you do culture, when you do mambo, when you do dancehall, when you do
Honey,
bomba
and
plena,
any
when you do
music makes
anything that
the
has to
world
do
go
with
round.
the humanity, anything that has to do with something that is tied into struggle, hardship, happiness, death, all that kind of stuff, that is going to have an impact for the rest of this eternity in this world.
As we say in Puerto Rico, huepa. We're about to go on break. I thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
Continued blessings of health and nutrition and wealth, and keep on bringing on that music. Thank you, Papa.
Thank you, and God bless everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back with Mission Nutrition with Priscilla LaDonna, and we have another guest for you. Be right back. Welcome back to listening to Cal Bennett's Sexy Sax. I have to say it, welcome back to Mission Nutrition. And you know what? I think I have a surprise caller, and I know. Is that Cal Bennett on the line?
Yeah.
Cal Bennett, you are the man. You know, I don't feel like working now. I just feel like listening to the rest of that CD. What's the name of that CD, my brother?
Poison Crisis.
Poise, like Poise?
That's right.
Poise and Crisis. Wow.
Right. And the name of that cut was The One I Love. So.
Oh, and I think
you
I'm
go.
sitting next to the one you love. Or are you talking about your actual saxophone?
Well, no, I'm talking about. Well, it covers everything because actually there was a misprint in the title. It should be EYE, the one I love, using the single I. That's the purpose of
Oh, wow.
eternal love for everyone, everything. But in this case, it applies to my beautiful wife, LaDonna.
So LaDonna Bennett is the other half of Cal Bennett. And Cal Bennett, does he serenade you with that dang saxophone
All
at
the
night?
time.
Oh,
I
my
love
God.
it.
I would not have dishes washed. I would not be washing dishes. I would be in the bedroom, but I would not be cleaning the bedroom. I tell you with that sax. Cal, we've been friends for a long time. I appreciate you. I love you. I support
thank you.
your music.
I
I
love you
support
too.
your soul. And thank you for blessing us with your talent. And I got to ask you a personal question. Have you had
Okay.
your wife do that thing to you with the speculum and putting it up your hiney and had that colon therapy
My wife,
thing?
actually, I credit her with saving my life, actually.
Really?
With that speculum. Yeah, I was when I met LaDonna, I was going through some really serious issues with my colon,
Wow.
and she didn't know that at the time. But of course, after going to dinner and and going out and stuff, I would react a certain way after eating a meal. And she said, "Mister, we got to fix you." And I said, "Oh, no, I don't want to go to the hospital lunch." I said, "No, I got something for you." And it changed my life. It
Wow.
literally changed my
And
life.
thank you for sharing that, Cal, because we need to get more men, especially in our African American community and our Hispanic community. You males,
Yes,
figures,
indeed.
you're the ones that our daughters and sons and our wives go home to. We need to have you healthy and whole. So, Cal, we're going to continue blessings and thank you for sharing, and thank you for bringing us the beautiful talent that you have. And we'll see you soon. Again,
My pleasure.
Cal Bennett and his gorgeous sax.
Thank you.
So, LaDonna, to finish up our fabulous interview,
Yes.
we spoke about all the different things and the pros and cons and why I should have this.
Well, if you have headaches, if your skin is broken out like mine was, if you have yeast problems, eczema, overweight, bloated, gassy, your skin is not as clear as it should be, your eyes are not as clear as it should be, body odor.
Body odor. Who would associate those things?
Most people don't.
That's
They don't
amazing.
realize the foods that they're putting in their body is what.
When I changed my nutrition 11 years ago, I used to have such strong body odor that I perspired like a man. I know that it's none of your business, but I don't wear deodorant anymore. I don't have to, and I had no
Yes.
idea that it's what you eat.
Yes.
And
The
then
foods we
again,
put in our
everything
body
that you put on top of your skin, we're all
goes in.
pores.
That's right.
So your website is.
www.universalflowinc.com.
That's very easy. www.universalflowinc.com. And LaDonna, your phone number to your clinic is?
310-854-1931.
So we really recommend that you visit LaDonna. Call her if you have some personal issues or personal questions. Get rid of your fears because we need to stop getting all these awful diseases that are killing us.
Absolutely.
And it's it's not a very costly thing.
No, yes.
And you can get packages and
we have packages available with discount.
and also I think you said that the first how many callers if they call in?
The first 5 callers that come in, will give you $10 off. That's
Great. So if you call our station 323-965-1600, if you call 323-965-1600, the first 5 callers, you'll get a $10 off of your first session with LaDonna. And also, I've got to say, I'm proud to say that LaDonna shares the nutrition that I'm on. So really
Yes,
quickly,
yes.
how long have you been on our foods, and what has been the main benefit of being on our foods?
Well, I've been on it probably about 4 years, and the main benefit for me is I have had yeast stuff. I notice when I'm regularly taking it, I never have yeast problems because the Fortune Delight is so fabulous in clearing out the yeast in the body. And also I notice my energy level. I also notice the weight balance. It doesn't fluctuate as much because it is living food. So you don't have to eat that much when you get hungry. Just pop a shake in your mouth
I
and
got my
bam.
shake right here with me.
There you go.
And it's always with almond milk. No one should be drinking milk anymore, folks.
Right.
So I I've got another fabulous guest, so I know that you've got to get back to
Yes.
your, because you've got
Yes.
patients waiting for
I
you.
do.
So thank you, LaDonna.
Thank you so
for
much.
doing what you're doing to be
Yes.
part of cleansing this this universe.
Yeah.
I love you. I
love you
appreciate
too.
you.
Thank you,
and
Priscilla.
we're
You're
gonna
doing
go
a
on
great job.
quick break, and we'll be back with my other guest. Thank you.
Thank you, Winnie. That was so great.
And welcome back to Mission Nutrition with Priscilla VALLDEJULI. That was so interesting and so informative and so educational with LaDonna Bennett, who's doing colonics, I call them. And now I have another guest, and thank you so much, Judy, because this was just a spur of the moment. But I always like to bring people that have anything to do with nutrition. And when I was talking to Judy, who I met through my dear friend Sheila Frazier, who was the principal actress in Superfly, Judy was talking about nutrition and how she gardens, and she has a garden. And I said, well, what's your background? She said, well, my father was you know what? Let me have Judy tell you. And besides all that, Judy is a well-known actress. I had no idea. I'm just finding this out. My God. Film, television, stage, all kinds of fabulous training. So you're still acting.
I am.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about your background, because you said your father was a farmer.
My father was a farmer in he grew up on a farm in North Carolina. But my father brought us, his children, to New York City, and we didn't garden there. However, when I moved to California, the first thing I did when we bought a house was to plant a garden. It was something that I had always wanted to do, and I got a chance to do that.
So you grew up with the benefits of actual, fresh fruit and vegetables.
Well, not exactly, because in New York City, you don't
no.
really garden like
Right.
that. When we moved to the suburbs, we had a garden. And we moved to Mount Vernon, and my father planted a garden. And when I moved to California from Mount Vernon, I started my own garden. It was important to me to eat well. Even as a kid, I wasn't into so much candy, so much soda. I really was
So important, especially the soft
unconsciously
drinks. Yeah.
into eating well.
So what kind of, what's in your garden right now? What are you
Well,
growing?
I did not plant a garden this fall because I'm moving. But my main thing is green leafy vegetables. I know and I knew all along that those were the most important things. And for new gardeners, it is best to plant green leafy something because it grows really fast and you get that instant sort of gratification from planting without having to wait so long to see results.
But Judy, when I speak on my show, the reason why I'm suggesting the supplements of my nutrition, which will nourish, balance, and cleanse you, is because the soil in this country is so depleted of minerals. So how are you planting, or how are you taking care of the soil, or do you eat the vegetables, but you also supplement yourself with other things?
I go to the nursery and I buy soil amendments that help the food grow.
Okay.
So I never use, we call it Canoga clay. I live in the San Fernando Valley in Woodland Hills, and we upgrade the soil for best results. That's what you need to do. And then I grow lemon trees. I have lemon trees, peaches, and all those things.
We gotta come to your house and make a peach cobbler.
Yes, do.
And so you're also on the same page. In today's day and age, you should eliminate everything white. No barcodes, no canned things, no soft drinks.
No.
Right.
None of that. I make lemonade from my lemon trees, and I drink a lot of water and things of that nature, green teas and things like that. I eat brown rice, not white. Everything is brown.
Right.
All the bread.
I was talking to someone the other night, and they said, "Why aren't you eating the rice?" I said, "Because it's white." I said, "Are you aware that rice was not white when it was grown? It's brown."
That's why I eat brown rice.
Right. So we're
It's the best.
stripping all of our things, and I don't even know where or how that started. I should ask Sharon Winters, because I'm sure that's in the Pure Cure. But we should eliminate milk. We should put more leafy green vegetables.
Yes.
There's a component of my nutrition, and it's in a little pack, and it's as if you were eating 50 leafy green vegetables, because we don't get enough servings of our vegetables anymore.
No, we don't.
And to give you an example, probably 20, 30 years ago, a cup of spinach had 16 something hundred milligrams of iron. Today, it barely has 2 because
it's
of the
terrible.
nutrients
Yeah.
that it's grown in. The
Exactly.
the soil is dead. It's depleted. It's got herbicides. It's got pesticides. And so, are you doing anything with a cookbook or anything?
My daughter and I are working on a cookbook as we speak. It's called the Mother and Daughter Cookbook. My daughter Naoki, she's in law school in Lafayette. Well, she goes.
I
she
think
goes
I
to South.
spoke to
I
your
think
daughter.
You may have.
Is she on the radio?
She was.
Oh my God! I called her once, and I never got to physically. Oh, so
Wait till I
that's
tell
your
her.
daughter.
That's my daughter. Yes.
And Naoki is a Japanese
No.
name? No.
Well, no, it's American Indian.
Oh,
It is, but a lot of
wow.
people do think that it's an Asian name.
So, and why are you collectively doing this cookbook? Where does that stem out?
Well, it was an idea that we both had. She thought that she would bring some new things to the table, like, say, if I make something the old-fashioned way, she might have a new way. But the important thing about this cookbook is that it doesn't cook with salt.
Amen.
We substitute salt for liquid amino in everything that we cook, and everything is brown. Of course, it's brown rice, and all the pasta is whole wheat. All of those things.
Yeah, so we need to learn, and the more people like Judy and her daughter that come up with these cookbooks so that we can make our lives easier in the kitchen.
Right.
A lot of people, everything they want to go drive-through. Everything is quick,
the worst way to eat.
processed, full of salt. Let's go, vegetables. Let's go back into our kitchens and enjoy the art of cooking.
Now, you can have those foods, but you should make them yourself, because when I make a burger, say, for example, it's with ground turkey, and it's going to be like cooked in the oven. It's not going to be fried. And it's going to have the nutrients that you need. And if you make the fries, mine are going to be cooked in canola oil or in the oven. You can still have that food, but make it yourself.
Right, and it'll be more delicious. My mom always says, "Do you know why it's so good? Because it was made with love."
Yes,
it was
that
made
too.
with love.
That too.
So Ryan, I think we're like a little bit out of time. Judy, I'm going to have you back because this was so. I had no idea. I was so enthralled with the colonics. In fact, I think I'm going to make an appointment with LaDonna. So remember, the first 5 callers gets $10 off. And Judy, for our closing, what do you have to share with the listening audience about how important putting the proper nutrition in your body is?
I would tell people to eat as many natural foods as you can. Do not make your body a garbage disposal, because that's not what it's for, and you'll be a lot healthier, you'll look better, and you'll be happier.
Right, and you'll feel better. And remember, we are a living organ. Everything that we place in and on our body is causing the dis-ease. Just switch. Put things in and on your body that are toxic-free, that will nourish, balance, cleanse you, and you will have a longer, healthier, regenerative life.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining me, Priscilla VALLDEJULI at Mission Nutrition, and we'll see you next week. Gracias.